Well, unfortunately, it's the same story every year. Come summer, there's always this discussion of water scarcity and a crisis, and this time it's being witnessed in the national capital. It's a double whammy of sorts for Delhiites because on one hand, the mercury is rising. On the other, the water crisis is leaving the city high and dry. With taps running dry in many parts of Delhi, the only source of water is from tankers, and that, of course, is not regular or adequate to quench the water needs of the national capital. But the situation is no doubt alarming because according to the government think tank Niti Aayog, 21 cities, including Delhi, Bengaluru as well as other cities, could run out of usable groundwater as early as 2020. That's next year, as aquifers are depleting. The national capital will likely see a shortfall of about 300 million gallons a day. India is suffering from severe groundwater depletion. Delhi's been losing 30 to 32 cubic kilometers of groundwater every single year. And this is the largest rate of groundwater loss in any similar region across the planet. So it's clear that India is doing nothing to ensure that there is some sort of recycling as far as water goes, to ensure rainwater harvesting, or to ensure that our basic resources are kept intact. So in the national capital, we just told you how dire the situation is. Let's take this across to Milind Sharma, who's joining us this morning for all the updates on this. Milind, good morning. You being in the capital also know full well, just as I do, of how bad the situation is and how, this crisis is only going to get worse. Any steps that are really being taken by the authorities, particularly in, areas where there are slums? Is there any effort being taken to ensure water is provided there?
Well, this kind of a situation is quite alarming. In fact, we're looking at a fast depletion of water, not just from aquifers, but we are looking at a situation, especially when you speak about slums, where tankers have to ply and supply water. Many of the households, in fact, let me tell you, are not even connected with taps at this point of time. And when we talk about the crisis in the national capital, yes, the heat wave has not really rendered any recourse to the water crisis problem. Remember, the authorities have sprung into action after a crucial report that has come out by the Niti Aayog that says 21 cities would run out of water very soon. And as aquifers also continue to deplete, the Niti Aayog, the important meeting that will be held on the 15th of June. And water crisis along with agricultural crisis will surely be part of that particular meeting. However, on ground supply of water still remains a huge issue, especially during summers when the temperatures rise, and especially in the slum areas that are not connected with the water supply that is supposed to be given by the Delhi Jal Board, if we talk about the national capital. However, let me tell you, this problem does not just pertain to the national capital. We've been looking at a situation of severe drought across Maharashtra, especially in the region of Beed. We've been looking at dry areas in parts of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan as well. So certainly the water crisis is going to be a huge problem for the government, and they will have to look into solutions, which is why an emergency meeting will be convened on the June 15th.
As you rightly put it, it's not just in Delhi but across the country that we're witnessing this crisis. Milind, thanks for joining us with those details. Let's get you all the information of the other cities that are also facing a crisis. And as someone who's from Chennai, I can tell you that the situation is very, very dire in Chennai. So many lakes in the city, and yet ironically, there's absolutely no water for Chennai. Water tankers are being ordered. It's taking over 30 days for water to actually reach. And for each water tanker, the cost has gone up to about 5,000 to 8,000 rupees. India Today's Lokpriya Vasudevan gets you this ground report.
It's been 20 days since 50-year-old Bawarlal Jain booked a 6,000-litre water tanker. He's one among the many who availed the scheme to book a tanker online. Bawarlal is making his 5th visit to the Chennai Metro Water Office to inquire about the inordinate date.
इसमें पानी में बहुत तकलीफ होता है. 2 दिन में एक बार ही आधा बकेट में स्नान कर रहे हैं. बहुत हम तकलीफ पा रहे हैं और बोर का पानी भी नहीं आ रहा है. इधर बहुत मेट्रो वाटर में पूछा तो वो हफ्ता भर लगेगा, 10 दिन लगेगा.
Following a deficit monsoon last year, several reservoirs around the city that act as primary source of drinking water have gone dry. The city currently receives 550 million litres of water every day against the required 800 million litres. The Metro has cut 40% of piped water supply in the city.
How far we can purchase outside?
The poor suffer even more. There are long queues for water at Green Road in central Chennai. Each family gets just 6 pots of water.
ஒரு நாள் விட்டு ஒரு நாள் 2 நாள் நாங்கள் எங்கள் வீட்டில் 6 பேர் இருக்கோம். எல்லாத்துக்கும் இந்த தண்ணி தான் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம். குளிக்கிறது சமைக்கிறது எல்லாமே இந்த தண்ணி தான். இந்த தண்ணி ரொம்ப கலங்களாக வந்ததுன்னா கேன் தண்ணி வாங்கிப்போம்.
25 kilometers away from the city, in the booming IT corridor, the story is no different. The residents are at the mercy of private water tankers. This apartment complex in Navalur, which houses around 1,000 families, uses 20 tankers every day. Many spend 2,500 rupees on tankers every month, apart from the money spent on buying bottled drinking water.
We have to 100% dependent on the tanker lorries. So, unlike if there is no water, we cannot come down to from the 19th floor to ground floor to even bring a bucket of water. So government has to make some facility, a short-term and long-term solutions.
Though Metro Water officials say they are doing their best, activists and residents blame consecutive state governments for not doing enough to improve water storage in the city.
Chennai faces unpredictable monsoons, but on average it gets about 1,200 millimeters of rainfall, and that should be sufficient to take care of the city's needs if the city prioritized water over anything else.
Due to lack of any perennial rivers, Chennai has always been at a disadvantage. However, the government's initiative to find solution for growing water demand in the city and find alternative means of water distribution has only fallen flat. Every summer, it's the same story with no solution in sight. In Chembrambakam, with video journalist Daniel, Lokpriya, India Today.
And you travel to any part of the country, it's the same story. Depleting groundwater, parched lands, everyone relying on water tankers, and the government really in a scurry to try and figure out a solution. Let's get you details of what's happening in northwest India, because that possibly is one of the worst hit this summer. Places like Thergaon, which is situated about 70 kilometers from Aurangabad city in Marathwada, in fact are struggling and grappling with a dire situation in their hands. Take a look at this ground report of the extent of water scarcity in the region and how people are now forced to risk their lives to get just 1 barrel of water.
Once a week, the sleepy little village of Theragaon in Marathwada region's Aurangabad district comes alive. And once a week, braving the scorching afternoon sun, hundreds of villagers gather on the streets so they may survive another dry and blistering summer.
टैंकर में डालेंगे, बाद में पानी आएंगे.
The municipality-run water tanker is pulling up to discharge its precious load. And the buzz of anticipation and the rising of decibels are palpable. No sooner do they hear the rumbling sound of the truck, young children run behind the tanker and then climb on top of it. While their mothers cling on to these tentacles to fill their barrels.
Hundreds of men, women, children with their pipes, and almost many of them are on this water tanker, and there the race begins. Each of them is racing to put his pipe in the tanker, and here you can see what they are doing. They are going to just they are going to draw the water from this water from this water tanker, and here you can see the race has begun. आज चेहरे पे बिल्कुल मुस्कान छाई हुई है.
आज बहुत पानी मिल गया हमको.
टैंकर के ऊपर तुम भी चढ़ते होगे?
हो.
पर ऊपर तो इलेक्ट्रिक का वायर, डर नहीं लगता?
नहीं, पानी के मतलब जाने पड़ता है.
With just 3% water left in Marathwada dams, around 3,200 water tankers have been deployed to service 2,500 villages and hamlets in the region. This is also a sugarcane belt, and the cultivation desperately needs water. A situation compounded by the poor rains of 2018.
इस तरह से जद्दोजहद है, एक दूसरे को पांव खींचने की बारी है. पाइप डाल रहे हैं ऊपर, इलेक्ट्रिक का करंट है.
पाइप डालने से पानी नहीं मिलता ना. पाइप डालने
इलेक्ट्रिक का करंट है
ऊपर नहीं, इतना ऊपर नहीं जाता. लोग रोज का है उनका वो.
और ये पानी कितने देर में खत्म होता है?
ये 5 मिनट में टैंकर खाली हो जाएगा.
यहीं पे खड़े थे?
हाँ, यहीं पे खड़ा था. नहीं साहब, पानी नहीं.
कोशिश नहीं की?
बहुत कोशिश की, लेकिन वो जब तक आपका
कुछ बैरल भर पाए आप?
नहीं, 2 हांडे भर लिया है बस मैंने.
The water drawn from a tanker lasts not more than 3 days of household needs, after which residents have to depend on solutions like the leakages in the water pipeline to fill their pots and barrels. Sanjana Patil was among the lucky ones to have fetched water for her family.
चैम्बर से लाते, पर लोग कहते वो चोरी करते, पर चोरी नहीं करते. हम हमारी मजबूरी है. पानी नहीं गांव में तो करके वहाँ से पानी लाते. हम पानी आया तो खाना पकाते, पानी आया तो धोना धोते, पानी आया तो सब काम करते, नहीं आए तो वैसे बैठना पड़ता. कभी कभी तो नहाना नहीं होता.
Theragaon is not the only village in Marathwada where people fight for water. It is not the lone village where people race for survival. 6 months of every year, 51 lakh people in the 11 districts of Marathwada have to depend on tankers for their water needs.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.